Hello, my learning buddies. Once again, welcome to your own learning platform, Learn Forward. And we are right here with your grammar book, The Grammar Hub for Grade 6 by Feathercaps. Going ahead in the journey, we are going to start chapter 8 of your book, in which we'll be learning about adjectives. Yes, ready? Let's get started. Underline the adjectives in the given paragraph. We have a recap exercise for you here. Let's quickly underline the adjective. It was a glorious morning and the birds were chirping. Yes, glorious. It's describing morning. That's perfect. The air was filled with the sweet smell of green apples. Okay, green, you got it correct. What do you have to say about sweet? That is also an adjective, children. It's describing how the smell was. Okay. Next, and the blooming roses. So you get to know about roses. That is perfect. It's blooming is also an adjective. That climbed the old cottage walls. So what is the word describing cottage? Old. That is also an adjective. Sweet Anaya opened the rickety. Yes, sweet. That's describing the noun Anaya. Rickety old front door and walked towards her radiant garden. So there are so many words which are describing the noun door, and each word will be your adjective. Perfect. And walked towards her radiant garden. Radiant is describing the garden, so this is also adjective. She picked a handful of white daisies. Perfect answer, white. Then to arrange them in a glass bowl which had once belonged to her great grandmother. You missed on saying something before her. Her is an adjective, that is perfect, but which word is describing bowl? That is, can you just read out? Yes, that is a glass bowl. That means it is giving you what material is that made up of. So that's a glass bowl. That is also adjective. And then with her, even great will come here. Okay, so her great grandmother, great will also be an adjective. So coming to taking you ahead on the journey for adjectives, we have already described adjective, that is a word, and I enhanced your learning by saying they don't only describe nouns, they describe pronouns also, and they tell you, they just tell you a lot, like how something looks, whether it is soft in respect to texture, in respect to touch, in respect to color, in respect to size. It can be big, small. It can be in context to origin, place of origin also. It can be in the context of material used for it. So many points that we just look into when we talk about describing a noun or a pronoun. Okay, we just talk about the length or the height or the thickness also. So that all gives you the size. We can talk about weight also in that. So they describe nouns or pronouns. We have examples here. My mother is kind to poor people. Now poor people, poor is describing what type of people are they. These ripe mangoes are delicious. Again, delicious is describing the noun mangoes. Which toy do you want to buy? Here the question word which is asking about toy. It's describing toy. So that is also an adjective. Now the adjectives, how do you place the adjectives? What can be the position of adjectives? We must know about that also. So what you observe from here is adjective can be placed before the noun that it describes. We are describing people, we are using the adjective before that noun. Now in this we are talking about delicious. What is delicious? Mangoes. But what you see, it is placed after the noun which is being described. And here it is placed in the beginning also, just before the noun. So how do you position the adjectives? They can occur before the nouns, like we have used here in poor people. Then they can occur after the verb also, like here after the verb. We are talking about mangoes, but we are using this adjective after the verb are. And then most adjectives can come after the adverb very also. For example, I say she is very beautiful, right? So your adjective is coming after the adverb very. So beautiful I am describing and very is used before it, right? So this is how you position the adjectives. Going ahead, we'll be learning about kinds of adjectives. You have already been learning about them in your previous grades. You know what is adjective of quality. Can you give me example? Yes, the one that we have learned just now. We said poor people. So poor is the adjective of quality. Very good. Yes, then rich is also fine, good, bad, very good, yummy. Yes, so this all, they all, hard, soft, bright, dark. Very good. I'm getting so many words from your side. I cannot write all of them, but you got it perfect. That adjective of quality tells you about how a noun is, right? It describes. Now, when you talk about quantity, can you recall what is quantity? Perfect. When we talk about uncountable nouns, how much? So this gives an answer to how much. Right? So if I say I want some water, how much water? Some water. So some is quantity because I cannot count water. Right? Coming to next is number. It is used for countables. Good. Let me write here uncountables. Quantity is for uncountables as you mentioned, and number is for countables that we can count. Very good. But then numbers are again subdivided into different categories. This is cardinals, this is ordinals, and then we have indefinite numerals. What does that mean? Cardinals means the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4 that can be counted. Ordinals show the position. So if I ask you, what was your position in class? What do you say? I stood first in class. Yes, I stood second in class. So first, second, third, such counting numbers show the position. They are called ordinal numbers. So they show position. And cardinals they count. So when I count, I'll not say first pencil, second pencil. How do I count? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So C is for counting, C is for cardinals. You can remember that way. And then ordinals go with the position. Then indefinite numerals are the numerals that do not have any fixed quantity. Like if I say fixed number, for example, I say I have few friends. I have invited some friends to the party. So here I'm not sure about how many, right? So such words are indefinite numerals. Coming to next is distributive. As we did in distributive pronouns also, we have distributive adjectives also, but you need to recall. I told you there's a difference. When we have the adjectives also, when we have the pronouns also of the same kind, what we have to remember is that the word, if followed by a noun, it will be adjective. So if I say each student is present today, each student. So after student, each denotes distribution. That means I am talking of each one individually. I am talking them in individual personality. So if I say each student is present, now after the word each, what do you see here? Student. What part of speech is it? Is it a noun? Yes, it is. So because this is a noun, this becomes your adjective. But if I say each of the students, then I'll be using here students. Each of the students is present. Now what do you see after the word each? I am not using a noun immediately. So now this distributive word becomes your pronoun. This is your distributive pronoun. So you have to remember this just simple point, right? So that pronouns are not immediately followed by nouns. Now coming to next, demonstratives. This is not the kind, children. So next is demonstrative pronouns. They are the same as demonstrative. This is demonstrative adjectives and they are the demonstrative pronouns. Same words are there and the only difference is demonstrative pronouns are followed by a noun. Immediately after this, you will get noun. Next is interrogative pronouns. So again, interrogative pronouns are the same question words as we use for pronouns. Interrogative adjectives are the same words, but they are followed by a noun again. Coming to next point, next type is the possessive adjectives. So we have done the adjective of quality, adjective of quantity, adjective of number. In number, we have learnt about cardinal numbers, ordinals, and then indefinite numerals. Coming next is, the next type is distributive adjective. Then we have learnt demonstrative adjective. These are not the kinds I have told you. This is another kind, not the subcategory, the main kind of adjective. This is interrogative adjective followed by a noun, and then possessive adjective, which is also followed by a noun and it shows possession. So if you remember, while we were doing pronouns, I just gave you an example. This is my book. I said my is showing possession, but it is not pronoun. You remember that? That difference you have to keep in mind. So here my shows possession, and because after that you can see book is a noun, so that will be your possessive adjective. So this was all about types of adjectives in a nutshell. Let's know about them in detail now. Adjectives of quality. So what do they tell? The adjectives that describe a noun in terms of how it is, how that noun is. That is called adjective of quality. What kind of, right? So what kind of noun it is. I like mangoes. What type of mangoes do you like? I like ripe mangoes. They are yummy. They are sweet also. So this is your adjective of quality. He enjoyed the Chinese food. So what kind of food? Chinese food. It's actually not telling you the quality, it is telling you the origin. So we can take it in yet another type of adjective also, but you can consider it as quality also. Otherwise, this is called the proper adjective also. Okay, that is not here, but then you can consider it as quality also. The elephant is a strong animal. So what kind of animal? Strong animal. Shivani is a sincere lady. What kind of lady? Sincere lady. So all these are the adjectives of quality. They give an answer to what kind of. Coming to next. Yes, here they have already given this point. Chinese is formed from a proper noun, so it is called a proper adjective. I just mentioned it. Okay, so we can take it in a different category also. Coming to next is adjectives of quantity. So adjectives of quantity, we have already discussed. They are used for uncountable nouns, something that we cannot count, right? So there is little milk in the jug. What question do we put here? How much? Yes, it's here. How much? Right? So you get an answer to how much because you cannot count it. How much milk? Little milk. You take much care. Again, care cannot be counted. So how much care? Much care. Then please lend me some sugar. So some sugar, that means sugar is not countable. So your word some becomes, this is adjective of quantity. Perfect. But if I say I have some friends, I have some doubts, then there, because you can count friends, you can count the doubts, the same word will become your adjective of number. That's the next kind we are going to explore. Adjectives of number are the words that tell you how many nouns you are talking about. Okay, so this gives an answer to how many. Now here again they are divided into two subcategories. One is the definite numeral and the other one is the indefinite numeral. We have already studied. Under the definite numeral we have two categories, cardinals and ordinals. So do you remember what I told you? I asked you to relate the word cardial with some other word. What is cardinal? What is the other word? This is cardinal. C for cardinal, C for counting. So the counting numbers are called cardinal adjectives. There are 4 students, so you are counting. I have 2 books, again you are counting, right? So these are cardinals. And then ordinals, they denote the position, they tell you the position. Akhil lives on the 3rd floor, so that is telling you the position, right? Today is the first day of the match. So again, it is telling you the position. So these are ordinal adjectives, ordinal definite numeral adjectives. Now coming to indefinite numerals, when you do not get an exact number. Like I told you some friends, I don't know how many, I have few friends. So I don't know how many, but that is for sure, I have some number, few. It can be few also. It can be many also. So such words come under the category of indefinite numeral adjectives. Few, all, no, several, some, many, certain, most. So all these are your indefinite, because I don't know what the exact number is, but they are countable, right? So all the pupils, how many? I don't know. So it's not an indefinite number. I have some fruits here. How many? Not sure about the number. So again, it is indefinite numeral adjective. Is that clear to you? Can we move ahead to the next kind? Okay, the next category is distributive numeral adjective. So that is what I told you. We have the distributives in pronouns also. Each, every, words like that. So these are distributive adjectives when they are immediately followed by a noun, you have to remember. For example, what are the words? Let us read out. We have the word each, every, either, neither, another, other. So all these are the distributive adjectives. And when we look at the example, each student, so this is a noun after it. That means it is adjective. I have read every book, again a noun. That means again this is adjective, distributive adjective. Now what you have to remember, I have already explained this to you. Some adjectives may be used as adjective of quantity and adjective of number also. How? If I say I need some water, that means water is uncountable. So some is the adjective of quantity, perfect. And when I say I have some books, some interesting books, then here some is countable, books is countable. So this is your adjective of number. So what you have to see is the usage. In what context you are using the adjective? Are you talking about something, some noun which is countable? So it becomes the adjective of number. So these adjectives. And then if you are talking about an uncountable noun, your adjective will be the adjective of quantity. Got this difference? Let's move ahead now. We have demonstrative adjectives, the same words as we have for demonstrative pronouns. And I told you the difference is, if it is followed by a noun, it will surely be your demonstrative adjective. Words are same, this, that, these, those, such, right? So this is a mango tree here. Do you see? Is it a noun? No. That means this is demonstrative pronoun. If I say here, those are students of class 6, what do you have to see here? Oh, it is again not a noun. That means it is again a pronoun, demonstrative pronoun. Yes, here we got it. These girls will take part. Now here after the word, you have a, yes, that is a noun. That means this is your adjective. Fine, children? Let's move to another example. That is Ishan's house. If we say the same sentence like that, house is Ishan's. Now, can you compare the two sentences? Here, after that, you see there is a verb. It's not a noun. That means it is a pronoun. Same, demonstrative, but it is a pronoun. But here, there is a noun after this. So, this becomes your demonstrative. Brilliant adjective. I hope this difference is clear to you. It's what we have mentioned here also, how you differentiate between a demonstrative pronoun and a demonstrative adjective, right? So here, this is my pencil. It is pronoun. And this pencil is mine. Yes, it is an adjective. Those are zebras. That is a pronoun again. Those zebras are under the trees. Here it becomes adjective. That's brilliant. You have understood it. Interrogative adjectives ahead. It's the same again. Question words because they are interrogatives and because they are adjectives. So the question word has to be followed by a perfect answer. It has to be followed by a noun. So we just add plus noun is very important. Like, which song do you like the most? So this is a noun. It means it is an interrogative adjective. What place? Again a noun. So this is again interrogative adjective. Whose wallet? Again a noun. So this is again interrogative adjective. So this is how you differentiate between interrogative adjectives. and interrogative pronouns. It's very simple. I'm sure you would have understood this. Coming to next is possessive adjectives. Same. Possessives, so they give an answer to whose, they show possession. First thing is this. Now, because they are adjectives, so they will be followed by a noun for sure, right? So we have to be very careful whether the word which is giving an answer to whose is a pronoun or it is an adjective. What will help you out to understand? Just look at whether the word is followed by noun or not. Like we have, the plant is losing its flowers. So here its is followed by flowers, which is a noun. That means it is an adjective, right? But our scooter needs repairs. Again, whose scooter? Ours. And this is a noun. So it's your adjective. The students thanked their teacher. Again, whose teacher? Their teacher. And teacher is a noun. So that is again a possessive adjective, right? Now, you already have learnt about the possessive pronouns when we talked about that table on pronouns, right? So it's just my, his, her, its, these are all singular, and our, their is plural. Then your is, it is used for singular as well as plural, and in first person and second person pronouns, we don't have any gender distinction, right? Now, when you come to third person and we talk about gender, we say his for masculine, her for feminine, its is used for neuter gender, my, our, your, their, I just told you, we do not have any gender for them, right? Now, here's an exercise for you. Fill in the blanks with appropriate adjectives. Sachin is a, so you can just use so many, you can use so many adjectives here, right? So, whatever you feel about Sachin, you can write on your own. Sachin is a wonderful cricketer. Okay. He's not a young cricketer now, right? Next, the water spreads diseases. Which water spreads diseases? Is it clean water? No, it's dirty water. So what I mean to say is, at some places you have so much of choice. You can use many, right? But you have to be careful about this article which is being used here. I cannot say Sachin is a experienced cricketer. He has played a lot, because a is used here. So I have to make sure that whatever property I am explaining, I am trying to describe here, it has to start with a consonant sound, right? So I'll write here dirty water, right? How dash movies have you seen this month? That means it's counting. Movies can be counted. Yes. How many movies? There are only a dash seats lying vacant. There are only a few seats. You cannot say some. A and some do not come together. How dash milk can you drink at a time? Yes, perfect. It's quantity because you cannot count. So it is how much. So I'm sure you can do the rest yourselves. Very good. Coming to the next exercise, identify the adjectives in these sentences and state their kinds. I'm sure you'll be able to do them. Let us do some of them randomly now, right? Have you seen my red shirt? So let's pick out the adjectives first. Yes, my and red. Brilliant answer. Now tell me, what is the kind of my? It is possessive. Very good. And red is? That's quality. Good, children. So this is quality, right? So you'll mention like this, my is possessive and red is quality. This is how you must mention. Coming to next, these shoes were lying outside the front door. Yes, good. These, because it is followed by a noun here. So this is demonstrative. Very good. And were lying outside the front door. So front is quality. Right? Coming to the next, let's do fifth. Each student gave his project to the class teacher. Yes, good. Each. Which one is it? Distributive, very good. So this is DIS. That means distributive. Each student gave his project. Brilliant. This is, what kind is it? Perfect, children. This is possessive because it is giving an answer to whose project, right? Let's do seventh now. This is his own painting. So what is the adjective here? This. Are you sure? Let's check out what is the word just next to this. Is it a noun? That means this is pronoun. And what are you looking for in the question? It says you have to pick out the adjective. So this is not adjective here. Let's read ahead. This is his own painting. So the adjective is his and own also. Okay. So his is which kind is it? It is possessive. And own is also showing you possession. Yes, so we can say this is also possessive, right? Where own is used for all the pronouns, right? It's not for any particular. Now that is the very man who has been following us since morning. So what is this? That again, it's not an adjective. That is the very man who has been following us since morning. So here the only adjective is very, and it is actually an emphasizing adjective which we have not done, children, right? So you can just skip also, but otherwise it is because it is emphasizing man, the very man. So this is your emphasizing adjective. We have a lot to learn in adjectives ahead. We'll be coming up in still another session on adjectives. Till then, keep enjoying. Happy learning, children.